Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do an updated character guide on Vincent. So Vincent already had his BT, but now he's getting FR. He finally got, I think he's just getting Force Enhancements for the first time. Mine was Force Enhance 0. It might be just that he had it and I didn't put it on him. But yeah, it's been a while since this guy's had an upgrade, so it's nice. He needs it. If you're not familiar with Vincent, he is actually a fire and lightning damage dealer that is very debuff oriented. And he does have follow-ups that do pretty good damage. So we're going to take a look at him in this video and see how he's looking with all this new stuff that he's got, right? So first, let's look at his calls. I think his calls actually aren't that great. They just put a couple of generic debuffs down and don't really do anything outside of that. And the debuffs aren't crazy, right? So the 15 just puts an Eye Brave down and a Fire Resist down. And then the LD just puts a Fire Resist and a Lightning Resist down. I guess the Caller does get some buffs on the LD, which is nice. So the Caller's going to get an attack and max brave, HP damage up, and overflow up. So I guess the HP damage up for the Caller's nice. But I've said this before, that the HP damage up, it's nice when the party can get it. Now, you are going to apply a Nightmare debuff. So it's going to be a defense down, a sap, and a brave damage taken up, and a small HP damage taken up. So I guess because of the Nightmare, I guess it is decent, right? Because the HP damage up is 10%. It's not the craziest, but it's something. But you are packing in, I guess, a lot of debuffs with it. So I guess I'll say that his call is solid, for sure. It is usable, especially if you just need to throw down debuffs on the enemy. But it's not one that comes to mind a lot. But I guess it does have HP damage for the party and then some for the Caller. So I guess there is some merit there. Let's go ahead and look at Vincent. And for artifacts, he's pretty old school. So I think he's just attack 108, max brave 330. Pretty simple. And then his spheres. I've actually got pretty good spheres on him. So A slot, he is weakness damage because he has the fire and lightning damage with the Imperil. So I think Rydia is really good on him. Attack brave damage together, I really like that one. Sephiroth is good. Jack, that one is also attack brave damage. Any of these really nice attack ups will definitely be fine on him if you want to do that. Vincent also is a ranged damage dealer, so if you wanted like a ranged attack up, that would be fine as well. Then on the E slot, I think Pain is really, really, really good here. It's the big party attack up and then an enemy attack down, which it's really good on Vincent because he's already like debuff oriented already. And this is going to be like a stacking attack down on top of what he's already doing to make the enemies even more hindered. So it really helps him lock down the enemies even more. So I definitely do like putting Pain there. And then his own, I think, is actually really good for another attack down. So what it is he's got a 30% attack down here. Pain is doing another 10% attack down. So that's 40% attack down. Plus he has another attack down from his own debuff. So like the combination of all that, it's pretty common, I think, for enemies to be hitting like ones or double or triple digits. So we're going to kind of take a look at it and see how hindered we can get these enemies. But I think the people that like to use Vincent really like to hinder the enemies with a lot of debuffs. So I think giving him calls that just like help with that, or not calls, but spheres that help with that, I think is really good. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at my boy Vincent. I am a Vincent fan, like as a character. In this game, I haven't used him a ton. He definitely has had really good moments in the game, though, for like, there's been very hard fights where Vincent has been crucial to beating those fights, for sure. Let's just do, sure, we'll just throw brothers on. We are going to do some ramping. We're just going to bring him with Aerith Rosa, surround him with a couple of nice support units, and we'll just see what he can look like. The one thing with my Vincent, I should say, is that my Vincent's BT is not maxed. So it just has a book in it. But we are going to use his BT phase to get it up and then kind of look at his kit that way. So we'll do typical Aerith start here. We'll throw down the Holy. And then we're going to throw down some Healing Wind, and then we'll pass turn. And we will definitely use like Vincent's Force in this video and just see how it operates, see how good it looks. Alright, so we are going to do a little ramp. These enemies like to go quick. The one thing you have to remember with this fight is that once they go into force, all my buffs only last for 1 turn. So we got to be careful about that. Sure, let's seal him down. The thing with Vincent is if you are going to use this FR, you want to make sure you have enough debuffs, the full 8 debuffs on the enemies. You want them at full debuffs for sure. I honestly probably should have brought some debuff calls for that. I didn't think about that, but we'll just see what I naturally get to. Actually, I mean, I can throw down like Raijin and stuff too to get a little debuff here and there. With you, I think, yeah, we're literally just going to throw down your BT. Kind of get everything set up that way. All right, and then I think we're going to hop into a Vincent burst phase. This is going to help us keep our gauge in front of the enemy. And then I'll bring in like the friend Aerith probably and just like ramp through that. And I think that might get us there. So let's go ahead with Vincent. We are just going to open burst phase and go into it. Once again, I'm not green, so I don't have that luxury. But normally with Vincent, you like to open with LD. So let's open with it. Satan Slam Shot. Let's see what the damage is looking like here. I think we got both BT effects of my girls up, so. Alright, so we got about 2 mil on that with a mil on the side. Not too bad. So on the LD, this is going to refresh his overhead buff, which is called Power of Chaos. So that's that purple 12-turn buff. This is an attack max brave up, HP damage up, overflow up, AoE poison effect scaled on max brave, or 10% of max brave, and it enables his follow-up attack that he gets anytime he attacks. So the LD buff is very important because you want to make sure you have that follow-up attack, and then it's going to do a fire and lightning and peril down on the enemies. And then as long as you attack a target with 2 or more debuffs, you're going to get the Chaos Shot follow-up, which is very good. Next, let's go ahead and, sure, let's do Nightmare Shot, which is the EX. The other thing that's nice about going to the BT is I don't have to wait for the EX to recharge. I can just hit it. And then once again, with the follow-up, I think the damage ends up being pretty decent. I think that was about 2 mil there, so yeah, solid. Okay, so on the EX, Nightmare Shot, he does get a free ability use on the next turn. He's going to get a buff called Implanted Power, which that buff is a max brave HP damage up, brave stolen up, brave damage up per debuff on the target. So that's pretty good. And then a nightmare debuff on the enemies, which is going to be defense down, a sap, brave damage taken up, and HP damage taken up. This is the debuff I was talking about on the call. That's actually really, really nice. So that nightmare is very good. Let's do Deadly Beast Flare, which is the 15. Once again, we're going to get the nasty follow-ups. All right, so 1.7. Yeah, for a 15, we'll take that. This also is 15 and 35 have high turn rate, so you sometimes will jump turns with that. Deadly Beast Flare is going to be a fire attack. It gets the plus version as long as there's 3 or more debuffs on the target, so we did have the full version. It does give him a fire enchant, and then it is an eye brave down and a fire resist on the enemies. And then Live Wire Shot, this is going to be like the lightning version. And we get the follow-up. Alright, 1.7 mil. So once again, solid damage. We got the plus version for having 3 debuffs. AoE lightning attack. He gets lightning enchant and a max brave up. The enemies get lightning resist down and an attack down. So basically, between the 2 attacks, you get a nice little spread of debuffs. You get both the imperils. You get all the elemental enchants. So that Vincent is always going to be hitting weakness damage, right, between those 2 buttons. So just kind of use those as your filler attacks. Spread them out as you need to, right? And then we did all of those. So let's go ahead and hit the FR. I will go over this when I actually do it for the FR time. Pairing up with Prompto, probably because he's just another guy with a gun. Probably. I guess I don't know Prompto's background enough to know if they have anything else in common. So I'm just going to say they're both a guy with a gun. That's about it. They like to shoot things. And then we're going to do the BT. Now, once again, this is probably going to be a little bit weaker because this is not the green version. So we'll keep that in mind. So the BT, we'll talk about it. So the burst effect, it's going to be 10 turns. And he gets 10 turns even without it being green, so that's good. So the enemy is going to be, they're going to have an attack, max brave, defense, and speed down. They're going to get brave damage taken up and HP damage taken up, which is really good. Now, right now, they're only getting a 20% HP damage taken up, but if I had this green, it would be 30%. And then a couple of buffs I'm not getting because it's not green, but you would have Brave damage limit up and HP damage limit up. And Vincent, it's really big. And the enemies are not able... This is... Oh, I forgot about this, yeah. The thing that's always been very powerful about Vincent BT is enemies cannot buff themselves while his BT effect is up. So this is very good against very powerful enemies. And with the 10-turn duration, like, you're going to hit this and it's going to last the whole fight. So, yeah, pretty good BT effect, actually, like, blocking the enemies from buffing themselves, which is pretty good. So now with Vincent, we can kind of just press buttons. So we're going to go into Aerith, and we're actually going to be able to ramp, I think, pretty close to Force time. And I'm hoping we can just hop into the Vincent Force right off of this. That's kind of what I'm hoping here. That's what I'm going to hope. And then we can stay in front of the enemies and hopefully beat them to Force time and not worry about their weird buff mechanic. Now just know during the Force time we're not going to get the full numbers. Normally you would plan and either run him with another debuffer or run him with more debuff calls. I do have a couple calls I can use, so I can put some quick little 1-turn or 2-turn debuffs on. So we might do that just for the sake of getting his Force to look better. Alright, we're pretty close, so I'm going to try to stall this out. Ooh, yes, we got a debuff on that, so we'll take that. We will definitely take that. Do we have another debuff on this one, perhaps? Nope, same debuff. That's fine, because we'll have the ability to dodge here. And then maybe if we use an AA, that'll get us to 100%, maybe. Almost. Let's use another one. I would really like to go into it now. Oh, perfect. All right. Oh, and the enemies are at 99.3, so that worked out pretty dang good. So let's go into FR. This is Daybreak. So this FR, big AoE attack. This is going to do Eye Brave down, Fire and Thunder Resist down, Attack down on all the enemies. The party's HP damage and limit is up 50%, so that is really good on the FR condition. Now, the FR HP condition is actually very easy. If you do Weakness Brave damage, it's 35%. So as long as your party's doing weakness damage. Now, the thing is he does not enchant, huh? I don't think he party enchants. I'll double check that, but I don't think he does party enchant. No, he only self-enchants. And the BT effect doesn't have it either. So I suppose that's the one downfall, is you got to make sure the party can deal weakness damage or you can enchant. Now, you know, if you ran him with, say, like Garnet and you could party enchant everyone for lightning, then you're good. But you got to make sure you have weakness damage to get that, but it's 35%. The other one is really free, though. If you hit a debuffed enemy, it's 5% per debuff. We've seen this with other characters. So what that means is you want them to have 8 debuffs for 40%. So provided you hit all that, it's 75%, which is pretty standard, right? It's definitely not like the craziest FR condition in the world, but it can be good. So sure, let's go ahead. And Aerith will echo, but it's only going to be 80% because it is an FR that does require you to attack. For sure, it does require you to attack them to get the buffs. Yep, 83, that's fine. We'll take it, though. All right, let's go ahead and echo again. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of attack a little bit, see what the damage does. Keep in mind the enemies can't buff themselves, which is nice. We'll definitely take that. 83, sure. All right, and then Aerith. Yeah, let's Seal Evil. That sounds fine. Oh, I should be trying to put more debuffs down, huh? I should have checked her call. All right, so you can see how much percentage we're going to get here. Yeah, 73. I think we missed a little tick there because the enemies only have 7. But if I go and put Raijin down, that'll be 8. So this will be full gains now. So we should get, yeah, there's 76%. So that's more like the full gain. And then, yes, battery, I get it. I get it. I'm almost done, I promise you. Let's go and echo. So now the echo should be, like, attacking echo should do pretty well here. I'm pretty sure an attacking echo should do pretty dang good here. Yeah, about 100%. We'll take that. And we get the follow-up. Let's go. Rosa, I mean, in this team comp, I think Rosa's the DPS here, to be honest. I think so. I mean, Vincent is doing pretty good damage with his follow-up, right? Let's get a look at him here. So we could Echo. I'm feeling like, yeah, let's just LD here. Let's see what Vincent gets here. It should be 75 to 80% on this. At 500%, what kind of damage we got here? All right, 13 mil, that's solid. Yep, we got 78%. That's about what I was expecting there. Aerith, Shirless Fury Brand, that's fine. I mean, we'll finish out the Force time. I mean, I could be done with the guide now. We've basically talked about everything, right? Yep, another 78%. We'll take some nice fat follow-ups for sure. Rosa, my girl. Yeah, we'll Echo. That's fine. See if we can't take down this Astos fight pretty easily here. And with the power of the burst phase, we actually out-ramp the enemy in this fight. It's pretty hard to out-ramp them. You pretty much need a summon phase or a BT phase to just give yourself a little head start. And then you got to pretty much power ramp from there. Sure, let's Echo with Vincent. Let's do it. All right, how's this Echo looking at 790? This should be a really nice Echo, actually. Should be good damage and good gains. So yeah, 25 mil. And then, yeah, 100% gain. That's pretty good Echo. We'll take it. We got the big whiff because we put Iridia on earlier. Sure, it's just HP plus here. It's fine. It would be nice if Vincent's follow-up was when any party member attacked a debuffed enemy, but it's only when he does. That would be that would actually kind of put Vincent over the top for me. If he off-turned on everybody's attack, whew, that would be pretty dang good. That would be really good for Vincent. To me, Vincent, he's kind of like a niche character where, like, there's very specific fights where I, like, really want to use him, where, like, debuffing is really important, or, like, making sure the enemies can't buff. But, like, Aeroseal Evil kind of does that, too. So, yeah, it's tricky, but Vincent's definitely not a must-pull. So, the way I classify Vincent, he's not a must-pull, but if he's, like, a fan favorite, he's definitely, like, a good enough character to run and do really well, right? He just isn't, I don't think he's a character that every player needs to have in their box, right? But you can see he's doing some nice things here. He's putting up some numbers. We'll definitely take that. Now, we're about to wrap this fight up. Is Aerith going to finish it, or does Vincent get another turn? Oh, yeah, Vincent gets another turn. Oh, just popped him right at the end there. That was cold-blooded by Aerith, dude. He was about to get a turn, and she said, nah. I'm dropping the laser down. Now, you ain't getting that. Let's end it with the EX here for Vincent. I think this will finish. So his EX at full gauge. With the 25 mil. Yeah, we'll take 25 mil for Vincent with all the debuffing. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of him. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.